In this video, we will continue on with our work with the Charlie Puth attention track, and let's jump in and start assigning virtual instruments. We'll start with the kick drum, and all the notes for the kick drum are right here in this top track where it says kick only. And in each track in the comments box, I have, of course, the name of the track or what the instrument would be, and then the MIDI note that is in that track, which is kind of important, especially for drum notes. We'll come back to that in a sec. Now, while we're getting started with the programming here, I am only going to be using instruments that come stock with Pro Tools native, and that would be Boom, which is their drum machine, and Expand, which is their sample playback virtual instrument. If you want to use other instruments, feel free, but this one will just focus on the Avid or Pro Tools native virtual instruments, okay? All right, so let's bring in Boom. I'll use that, or start with that for my kick drum. You could try something with Expand if you want. If I just mouse on kick, right there you can hear it. And if you want to change different kick sounds, I'll just click right where it says Electro here and get my... etc. If I like one of the sounds, and I'm going to go with the Urban 2 sound right there, I can tune it. I can decrease the decay. So I'll just leave it right there for now, and I can tweak the level of that individual instrument, but I can also do that here with my mix fader. Okay. Now a little bit more about Boom and what's in my comments box, the note C1. Okay. Let me record and enable the track here, and now when I tap on my MIDI keyboard controller here, it'll actually trigger the sounds in Boom. And when I trigger the note or play the note C1, you can see the indicator there. It plays, C1 plays the kick drum. And that is a standard note assignment in what is called the general MIDI drum map. And let me slide this graphic over here. And this is the standard note assignment for MIDI keys and the notes or the drum sounds that they will trigger. And so for anything that adheres to what's called the GM, which means General MIDI Standard, these notes will trigger these sounds if you're working with some kind of drum program or drum sampler or something to do with drums that adheres to the GM or General MIDI Standard. And Boom does adhere to the General MIDI Standard, as does Expand. And I say that kind of with reservations because I would say for the most part, almost all their drum kits stick to the General MIDI drum mag, especially the kits, the full kits. When it comes to the percussion sample items, sometimes it's a little bit different, okay? All right, so let me scoot that out of the way, and there's my kick. And if I open this up where it says snare, you can see snare, that's the note D1. So all snare notes, and so I'm just tapping on my MIDI keyboard, and if I tap the note D1, it plays snares. Clap. You can see here, E flat 1. So if I play the E flat, I get claps. Here's hats, closed hat, open hat, half hat. Okay. Now, there's no cowbell here in Boom because it just doesn't have that many notes in it. But it does have your basics, which are going to be your kick, your snare, your clap, and some of your hats for you there. Okay, so you may find some of the drums here. You may find some of the drums not here. I'll just let you experiment, and for sure you'll be able to get your kicks and your snare and your clap out of Boom if you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign some snares. I'll just do that quickly. And if I want to do that, an easy thing to do is I can just highlight where it says Boom, hold down my Option key, and drag the plugin over, and it makes a copy of it to the next slot. And I'll just go ahead and tap on my snare drum. If I like that snare, great. If I want to use something else, I can go ahead and get the retro snare, or I can get the urban snare, Or I can go back, or I can get the electro. Well, there we go. Okay. So let's just go ahead and scoot boom out of the way here, and also scoot my mix window out of the way. And you'll notice now my first two tracks are starting to take shape and that they have turned color, which means they're active, which means they have an assignment. They have a virtual instrument assignment. They know what they're going, they know what they're supposed to do, okay? And you can see the other tracks are still grayed out because we have no virtual instruments assigned. So let's just listen to what we've got so far. Okay, so we're going to come back in the next video and we'll get the rest of the drums assigned and also take a look at the drum capabilities of Expand, which is the other virtual instrument that comes stock with Pro Tools.